Hi, my name is Jim and our company is Vantage Property Management. In this session we're going to take some time to discuss one of the most important subjects I think we can, and one that's probably least high on our owners' radars when it comes to the landlord-tenant process. And this has to do with adequate tenant screening. We hear horror stories all the time about things where a tenant's in a property and this is going wrong and that's going wrong. And ultimately, probably 90% of the time, if the tenant had gone through a proper vetting screening process, the situation wouldn't be what it is. So you want to make sure, one, you're being uniform. Before you interview any tenant, you should have in writing for them, what are you offering them? You know, what is the property? How much is the rent? How much is the security deposit? Are you going to allow pets? What's the lease term? What's your situation on smoking? And have that in front of the tenant so every tenant's on a level playing field to see what they've gotten. Because next you want a written application. You want them to actually go out on that limb, put in writing, this is how much I make, this is where I work, these are the people that will be living in the house, this is some information about have I ever been arrested before, that sort of thing. And that application, of course, must give the landlord permission to run a credit report on the tenant, which absolutely must be done, whether the landlord does it or hires a company that does it or has a property management company do it. But credit reporting is quite a fine art these days. It tells you everything, not just how you're doing on your credit cards, but did you late on your student loans, did you cheat the dentist a couple of years ago, that sort of thing. Not only credit checks, you want a complete criminal background check for the obvious reasons, especially in this day and age with drug trafficking and things like that. You want a civil court background check to make sure they're not coming up on an impending bankruptcy or a state tax lien or things that could affect the lease. And of course, naturally, a nationwide sexual predator background check. With credit reports, yeah, we've got some what we call minimum scoring and things like that, but we try to look at each line on a credit report. Some are more important to others than others to us. We mentioned student loans a moment ago. Student loans are important and they should be paid, but a student loan in arrears does not concern us as much as a local utility bill or a major credit card that's late or a car payment, because if those items are late, pretty soon there will be rent problems also. Sometimes we hear tenants say, or owners say, well, gee, the tenants have had some bad luck. Why don't we give them a second chance? Well, folks, this is a business you're running and it's your house, it's your biggest investment, and this is not the time for second chances. Yeah, there's plenty of places for charitable work in this world, but being a landlord is not one of them. And the last one I want to mention is the one that you have to be the most careful for, and we hear the most problems is, well, no, I'm going to go ahead and rent it to a friend or a relative. It just doesn't seem to work. That's all I can say. I'll leave it at that. Hopefully this has been helpful. As I say, there's a lot more to talk about, so if you have some questions, feel free to contact us here at Vantage Property Management.